subscribe button, notification button, the like button too. Yeah. So, um, I'm starting to believe Dame Dash, yo. I'm really starting to believe Dame Dash. Like all of these media platforms, every time, every time one of his enemies say something like negative about him, or they say like anything wrong with his business, whether if he's broke or whether one of his companies is bankrupt or what if something was sold, like anything that's bad that happened with Dame Dash, if any of the people that he had beef with, media beef with, all of these other media platforms are so quick um to report on it. Like, this is crazy, B. You know what I'm saying? And I see why. Like, I don't know, man. I don't see why they do that, yo. You know what I mean? So I see what Dame is saying, and it's like at the end of the day, these dudes are really going back and forth with each other, yo, for no reason. Because Dame, he said it. He's like, yo, the I still own Honor Row. I still own Honor Row, and people, they really need to really chill out. You know, let 24 hours go by before you report something or whatever the case is. Like, they really want to see Dame fall, man. You know, and I think low key that these individuals are possibly behind the scenes, you know, uh, coordinating these little beefs that they have, because it creates, the algorithm starts to be in their favor. You know what I'm saying? So it scratch them doing it on well, scratch them always coming at him, or like Dame is right. I'm starting to really feel like these dudes is behind the scene being strategic about how to beef with each other, because it's like, yo, every day you guys are beefing, and it's like, bruh, like, come on, man, come on, y'all like what y'all doing. This is hip hop has become wrestling, yo, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because Dame talk about them too. Dame talk about them too. You know what I'm saying? Um, he talks about Cam sometimes in his interviews, whatever the case is, or he might talk about Jimmy or whatever. But I don't remember Dame talking bad about Cam in his last interview when they was asking him questions about or because they wasn't asking Dame questions, or he didn't say anything bad about Cam to my knowledge. You know, he was just explaining how Jim Jones was brought up, and how he came up. You know, so shout out to you, Alita. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. But yeah, man. I don't know if y'all saw on the news. There's an 22-year-old kid. He stabbed his grandmother like 60 something times in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and it's very sad. You know, it's on the news everywhere. You know, 87-year-old grandmother, and the mother was watching. The mother watched, and it's sad because, you know, if a mother's watching if a woman is watching her mother get murdered by her son, that is crazy. I'm good, Alita. How you doing? Thank you. That's crazy. You know, like, and for her not to help is even crazier. But you got to understand, like, she must have been in like a really big shock. You know what I'm saying? To like not be able to help her mother, because you seeing your son kill your mother right in front of you, just stabbing her, just, poking her and stuff like that. And she had to be in shock, because it's like, okay, am I going to be able to overpower my son? That whole fight or flight, you know, that whole fight or flight or whatever the case is. So this kid, man, this kid is young. This kid is 22 years old. This kid is 22 years old, you know, He killed his grandmother. I think she was like in her 80s, you know, and stabbing somebody 60 something times is just diabolical, yo. Stabbing your grandmother, period, is just diabolical. But to do it that many times, at this point, you have a psych issue. You have a mental health issue, and you need to see a doctor. And this is why mental health is so important because you know, we need to be able to protect our mental health, and we need to be able to spot when somebody in our family might have a mental health issue, and we might need to tell them, hey, listen, go get some help. You know, so it's not all about protecting your mental health. It's about being aware of other people's mental health also. Because if you see they having a mental health breakdown or whatever the case is, or crisis, you'll be able to you'll be able to speak to them in a different manner and say, hey, listen, you know, how's it going? You know, how was your weekend? You know, just, you know, give them words of encouragement, give them words of, or just saying hi, good morning, you know, uh, ask them if they want a cup of coffee or something like that. Like those simple things. Hey, there are those who are joining us today on YouTube channels, and you came across. Hope you would consider being. Wow, I'm gonna screenshot this. Hey, joining us today. There are over 100 YouTube channels you came across. Hope you consider being here more often for great hectic vibes and so much more. Of course, of course. I'm gonna start going live much more often, with like, you know, just random topics and things of that nature. So just make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification button for the channel, okay? But so mental health, yes, is very important. And it's not only about protecting our mental health, your own mental health. It's about, you know, being aware of someone else's mental health that's around you, whether it's a family member, girlfriend, boyfriend, co-worker, whatever the case is. If you care for that person, you know, you let them know. You let them know, hey, listen, you know, I'm here if you want to talk, man. You know, you want a cup of coffee, you know, you want some breakfast, like if you can spare it, you know. Um, oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Keep streaming, man. Keep streaming, yo. Real talk. The money is good, man. Yeah, oh, you almost there? Okay, okay. Yeah, oh, you almost there? Okay, okay. Well, keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. Um, you gotta have at least 20. I think it's 1,000 subscribers or something like that, and a number of watch hours, and then you'll be monetized. So I'm pretty much there. I have about 1,300 subscribers, and I'm a little over 1,000 watch hours. So you gotta have what they say, you gotta have 4,000 watch hours within the past 90 days. So that's why it's important for you to be on here continuously doing lives and things of that nature, so you can build up your engagement and subscribers also. So just look for different topics that you know want to talk about, and you know different things that you feel people would want to engage in. You know, and you know mental health is definitely something that you guys should be talking about. Um, hey, what's up, Naria? How you doing? So mental health is something you guys should really be talking about. It's important. You know, we're in a new year. You know, I know you guys got a lot of expectations that you know that you're making for yourself, and you want to be you know you want to be prepared to tackle whatever your goals are. But like I said, yeah, man, if you see somebody that's going through something mentally, like, you know, give them a hug, man. Say good morning. You know what I'm saying? Say good morning, man. Like I know me personally, like, you know, after, you know, seeing one of my co-workers, security guys stab a number of people um on the street in Queens, you know, I mean, I didn't see it physically, but you know, after it was done and it was on the news or whatever, you know, not that I look at them differently, but you know, people that you don't really encounter like that, you know. people that you don't encounter like that, but you see them, it's always just good to say hi, you know,
But you didn't call 911.
and treat people the same. Don't be those kind of people that, treat the janitor low or you treat the security guard, less than what you treat your boss or your supervisor, whatever the case is, you know. But yeah, it's definitely sad. That kid is only 22 years old and his life is done. This kid is done. He's probably gonna do like 50 something years in jail. Life in prison. Life in prison. Word.
Everything go to school. They didn't have class today.
Yeah, so y'all, keep pushing. YouTube is definitely lucrative business. A platform where you guys can talk about whatever conversations, whatever topics you want to talk about. You know, um, real talk, real talk. But yeah, Dame, shout out to Dame Dash, man. Dame, keep doing your thing, man. Um, keep your pedal to the metal, bro. I was watching some of the content that they have on Afro TV that he was affiliated uh, with one on a beat 139. They was getting interviewed by this lady.
What did he call
The
it?
interview was super short. Me personally, I didn't like it because it was just too short. It was just too short. And the only thing they talk about was their experience in jail and why they was in jail and you know the bad choices they made. So I felt it could have been a little longer interview. You know, but at all it is what it is. You know. Shout out to Max B. Max B is out. He's home. He's dropping a number of music. I've been watching some of his interviews. Him and French Montana are doing some very good interviews. One of my favorite ones they did was the one with Jada and Fat Joe. That was my favorite one they did so far. I like the one they did with SO too. SO and Heineken. That was a good one. And I like the way SO interviews because, he was a artist manager at one point. You know what I'm saying? And, I think DJ Clue was sitting at that table too when they was interviewing Max B and French Montana. So shout out to those dudes. Shout out to Max. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, his music ain't really hitting like that." But just give the man some time. Give him some time. Like the man is dropping music. Ain't nobody else dropping music for crying out loud. Ain't none of these artists dropping. Max B, French, keep pushing, keep grinding. I see you guys. Hopefully, I'll be able to interview you guys on my platform at some point. But I also understand, they got to make their rounds. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get their time to shine. Everybody get their time to shine. So I'm one of those patient guys, you know what I'm saying, who just, works every day, 9 to 5, overtime and all of that, And I don't like to rush. Listen, don't rush the process. You got to trust the process, So love is love, man. Love is love, man. Dame Dash, stays giving it up for Harlem, man. Him, Jay-Z, and watching some of his interviews, it's like, yo, him and Jay-Z, he's really emotionally like scorned from that relationship he had with Jay-Z. Pause. Like he says like, yo, we were really friends. Like him and Jay-Z were friends, besides just being businessmen. You know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z, he's really hurt. He's really hurt by Jay, you know. But life goes on, man. Sometimes people do things not knowing how they make other people feel. So it's very important to understand it from that perspective, because that's what Jay-Z is coming from. There was a reason why Jay-Z did what he did. He felt like Dame was making decisions that didn't need to be made, and that wasn't made with his approval. No matter how cool you are with the artist, no matter what, like you have to discuss with me who you're making vice president and who you doing, who's doing. You have to discuss that with me. It's so important. It's so important. So I have some merchandise that I'm gonna be dropping. in the next couple of weeks. My 127 brand. It's gonna be fire. The t-shirts are they're very limited. Long sleeve tees, crew neck sweaters. Um, I got orders coming in as we speak. So God is good. It's grind time, you know, and you guys are gonna like them because they're for Black History Month and for um, Juneteenth. You can wear them for Black History Month and Juneteenth. So I want y'all to look out for them. I'm actually getting it made as we speak. So maybe by Sunday I'll actually have it on and we'll be able to chop it up and y'all can put your orders in. Okay? But yeah, man, love is love, man. Keep doing what y'all doing. You know, this guy, I don't know if Javante Davis got locked up or whatever, but I heard on the news this morning that that Javante Davis has a warrant for his arrest out for him. You know, for gripping a female and dragging her, or something like that. Like, you know, this ain't the first time a boxer has done this, man. Like, you know, like remember Tyson was you know, they felt like he was aggressive with women. You know, Robin Givens thought he was aggressive with her. So, you know, there's a lot of aggression that comes with boxing. And if you feel disrespected, then there's certain ways you're going to act, you know, and they're not going to be always all the time consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Conscious decisions. Like, a lot of these dudes, these boxers, their instinct is just to kill. Their instinct is just to you know, retaliate. And, you know, these dudes retaliate. They're trained to retaliate off of instinct. You know, some of it is not, you know, some of it is not calculated, especially if they're not in the ring. If they're not in the ring, a lot of that stuff is not going to be calculated. You know, so yeah, man. So Javante, man, you know, I hope after you lose to Lamont, I think his name is Lamont Roach or whatever. I hope that after losing to him, you did not lose your drive and your will to be successful, because the Javante Davis brand is big. Is big. Okay? Somebody get up out of here. Send stuff on here. Talk to you guys for a little bit.